try. So I just have a question. Tony, is your son as sweet and funny as you? I'm single. Just have to get that over with. All right, I want to start off with celebrating. I want to celebrate all of you for showing up today, and Dorothy and Doreen and everyone who contributed to this event. Can we celebrate that for us? It's amazing you guys showed up today for yourselves and for everybody else, so thank you. I'm also going to invite you to celebrate with me. I am happier than I've ever been in my entire life. But it hasn't always been this way. Oh, the suffering, the struggle. Who has suffering and struggle in their life? Yeah. And what's beautiful about the suffering and the struggle is that if we're open and willing, we can learn from that. I'm going to share with you a few really amazing, powerful tips that I've now applied to my everyday. How many of you are willing to be responsible for your entire life up until this moment? Everything. Yeah. I mean everything. Yes. I give you a tip. You want to say yes to that. You get your power back when you own it, right? I was 24 when I first got married. Well, got married the first time, I should say. And I fell in love with this charming, charismatic man. And because my older sister got married young and started having a family, I thought I should do that too. Anybody do that? Where they're like, well, that's what they think I should do, so that's what I'm going to do, right? And I manifested that too. I remember being in high school thinking, I'm going to get married young, because that's what I'm supposed to do. After we got married, things started to change. My kind husband started to become cold. He started to become controlling, manipulative, and abusive. It took me about a year to have the courage to leave. But I left. And I blamed him for everything. It was his fault. Everything was his fault. He was a bad guy. How many of you blame somebody else for your experiences? Anybody else do that? Come on, fess up, ladies. We blame other people for how we feel and what we experience. It's kind of natural for us to do that. Well, it's not my fault. But I'm going to tell you something. When you take 100% responsibility for everything in your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, you hold the power. Take your power back. The power you possess is magnificent. But the problem is that most of us have a really hard time owning up to it. When you take 100% responsibility, you begin to create a pathway for the good. You begin to create a pathway for the life that you want to create for yourself. If you do not take responsibility for everything in your entire life, how can you begin to imagine that you can create the life that you desire? You can't. If you can't own up to this, that, and the other thing that you've experienced, you can't begin to believe that you can create a life you desire. I really want to drive that home. We have the capability of manifesting everything. And I blamed that first husband for a long time until I realized, oh, I actually created this. I created it because my soul, my being, wanted to learn about abuse, wanted to learn about having the courage, wanted to learn what it felt like to go through a divorce so I could be more compassionate to those who've gone through that. I mean, the lessons really are endless, right? And if you think about all of your experiences, even the perceived bad experiences, you can realize that there's some real good that's come of it. That's tip number one. Take 100% responsibility. Now, I also am an intuitive coach and business coach. And I get clients coming to me and they say, Deanne, I've been picturing myself doing this and it's not coming to fruition. Like, what's going on? I don't believe in this manifestation stuff. And so my first question is, what do you need to let go of to make room for the other stuff? What are you hanging on to, or what is blocking you? It was about 5 years ago, I was sitting with a girlfriend of mine, and she said, oh my God, Deanne, you have this beautiful vision of creating this holistic healthcare system. You need to go on Dragon's Den. And I said, yeah, that's brilliant. I'm going to go on Dragon's Den. And I could see it. I was imagining myself in front of the dragons. And so I went and I auditioned the first year. No call. I went and I auditioned the second year. No call. I auditioned the third year, the fourth year, and the fifth year. And still no call. And I'm thinking, what the heck do I have blocked? Do I need to talk to Stacey Berger or something? Fear. Heaven forbid I actually make it to the den and they see that I'm not perfect and my business isn't perfect. So I've got to work on that. I've got to walk. So maybe one day you'll see me on Dragon's Den. I'm not going to stop until they stop doing the show. I'm going to manifest that. So here's the other piece of this. What if I'm so attached to this idea of being on Dragon's Den that I'm not willing to see that there could be something better for me? Yeah. It reminds me of a picture that I recently saw. And on one side of the picture, there's this little girl, maybe 5 or 6, and she's holding this little teddy bear. And on the other side of the picture is Jesus. And behind him, he's hiding a giant teddy bear. And he's gesturing out, pass over the little teddy bear. And she's saying, no, I don't want to let this little teddy bear go. How many of you are holding on to little teddy bears? Right? Let go of the little teddy bears. Let go of the stuff that is not serving you. When you can let go of that which is holding you back or not serving you, you make room for bigger, better things. Trade in. Get that big teddy bear. Now, I want to share this with you. The last really important point is coupled together. Clear intentions followed by intentional action. Clear intentions followed by intentional actions. Okay? In January of this year, I was sitting down and I was doing my budget. Or my, spending plan. Yeah. Okay, I was doing my spending plan. I love that. And I was looking at my car payment thinking, man, if I could just get rid of this car payment, I would be able to save up and take the kids to Disneyland. That was my big thing I wanted to manifest, the trip to Disneyland. And so I was just thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I just want to get rid of this car payment. But I hadn't really thought about how. On February 28th, I was nearly T-boned by a drunk driver. And, gets me a little bit there. Thankfully, my kids weren't with me. Thankfully, I was proactive and I swerved to avoid direct impact. And really, I mean, a little bit of whiplash and a broken tooth. I did okay. So in the days following, I was recovering and healing, and the adjuster was contacting me to set up to get the estimate done on the damage on the car. And I thought, oh my God, I asked to have no car payment. I did this. So I thought that my car was going to get written off. I thought that was going to be the case, and it wasn't.